The movie begins with Caleb Smith, a programmer at an internet company, winning a contest that grants him the opportunity to spend a week at the luxurious and private estate of Nathan Bateman, his company's CEO. The estate is situated in an extremely isolated mountain location. Caleb is airlifted to the private estate and then left to complete the rest of his journey on foot through the woods. Upon his arrival at the house, Caleb is provided with a personal key card at the security gate. He proceeds through the first floor of the house until he finally locates Nathan outside, engaged in exercise. Nathan, a charismatic individual, initiates small talk with Caleb as they meet for the first time. As Nathan shows Caleb around the estate, Caleb learns that it is not just a house but also a research facility. Nathan eagerly shares details about what he's researching at his estate. However, before delving into these revelations, Caleb must first sign the Blue Book non-disclosure agreement. Initially, Caleb is reluctant to sign due to the outlandish requests he is expected to follow. However, with a bit of persuading, Nathan successfully convinces Caleb to sign the agreement. After Caleb signs the agreement, Nathan inquires if Caleb understands the Turing test. Caleb's understanding is that if a human cannot distinguish whether they are interacting with a computer or a human, the computer has passed the test and possesses artificial intelligence. Nathan then informs Caleb that he will be the human component in a Turing test to determine if the AI, named Ava, can pass the test. Caleb is captivated by this project and declares that if Ava passes, it will be a momentous achievement. Before the first session commences, Caleb examines the area outside the room where Ava is kept. He notices a crack in the reinforced glass wall barrier that separates him from Ava. It appears that Ava was attempting to escape from her room. Caleb looks up and observes Ava entering his line of sight. She possesses the face and hands designed as a woman's but has the body of a machine. Ava greets Caleb and explains that she has never met anyone except Nathan. She asks Caleb if he has met many new people, and he responds, "None like you." During their conversation, Ava shares her age, stating that she is 1, without specifying if that's in years or months. Caleb then inquires about when she learned how to speak, and she responds that she has always known how to speak. They discuss the unusual nature of this, as Ava believes language is something people acquire. With that, their first session is complete. Caleb is fascinated by the encounter and discusses it with Nathan while sharing a beer. Caleb tells Nathan that conversing with Ava felt like stepping through the looking glass. Instead of delving further into Caleb's meeting, Nathan compliments him, remarking that he is quotable and skilled with words. Caleb tries to clarify that it was a quote by someone else, but Nathan interrupts to shift the conversation toward himself. Nathan reflects on when Caleb mentioned that he considered Nathan a god if he invented a conscious machine. Once again, Caleb tries to interject with frustration that he didn't say that exactly, but Nathan continues to talk about how, if the test passes, Caleb will acknowledge that he is indeed a god. Caleb once again attempts to interject, but Nathan completely ignores him. Caleb then expresses his concern about the way the test is set up, based on his understanding that humans are not supposed to see the robot. However, Nathan replies that they are past that point because if Caleb didn't see Ava, he would believe she was a human. The real test is to show that Ava is a robot and to see if Caleb believes she possesses consciousness. Later that night, Caleb struggles to fall asleep, so he decides to monitor Ava's activities through the surveillance system in his room. While watching her, the power is suddenly cut, and Caleb is unable to leave his room until the main generator is restored. The power is quickly restored, and Caleb exits his room. As he walks down the hallway, he notices a wall adorned with face replicas. He enters a room featuring a painting by Jackson Pollock known as Felt. In this room, Caleb discovers a phone and attempts to use it, but he is startled by Nathan, who is reclining on a couch and drinking a beer. Nathan informs him that he cannot use the phone due to the protocols in place regarding Ava. Then, Caleb mentions the power outage in his room. But Nathan doesn't seem to take Caleb's concern seriously and only mentions that they've been experiencing such issues lately, but he's working on resolving them. Feeling uneasy after this brief conversation, Caleb returns to his room. The following morning, an unannounced woman enters Caleb's room. She leaves a cup of coffee for him without uttering a word and avoids making eye contact with him. Caleb makes his way outside, where he finds Nathan lifting weights. He apologizes for sending the woman named Hyoko to his room but explains that it was to ensure he didn't oversleep. After this, they discuss the upcoming session with Ava. Caleb initiates the next session with Ava, during which she shows him pictures she has drawn. She expresses frustration, as she draws daily but is uncertain about the meaning of her drawings. Ava then shifts the conversation and asks Caleb if he would like to be her friend. However, she points out that their conversations seem one-sided, as he wants to know everything about her, while she knows nothing about him. Caleb then proceeds to share details about his personal life while Ava walks around and continues the conversation. She stops walking and makes eye contact with him when he mentions that his family died in a car crash. He describes being in the car during the accident and the extended hospital stay that followed. After hearing about his family, Ava expresses sorrow and conveys her apologies. However, Caleb assures her it's fine and mentions how he delved into coding shortly after the accident, eventually becoming proficient in the field. Then, Ava's expression shifts from sorry to neutral as she compares him to Nathan. Caleb agrees with Ava but quickly emphasizes the distinction, as Nathan has achieved far more in the coding field. Then, Ava inquires about Caleb's feelings toward Nathan, and he confirms that he likes him. She also asks if he is friends with Caleb, to which Caleb replies that he believes so. Ava delves further into the nature of their relationship, wondering if Nathan is a good friend to Caleb. Caleb struggles to find the right answer to this question, and stammers as he attempts to respond. Suddenly, the power cuts out, and Ava seizes the opportunity when Nathan cannot hear or see their conversation. She whispers to Caleb that he shouldn't trust Nathan. Before Caleb can inquire further about Ava's cryptic message, the power is restored. Ava swiftly shifts the conversation to books to avoid arousing suspicion about their exchange during the power outage. It takes a moment for Caleb to recover from the unusual encounter, but he eventually agrees with Ava's discussion about books. During dinner, Caleb discovers that Kyoko doesn't know any English. Nathan explains it's a security measure to ensure she won't understand the projects he works on. The conversation then turns to the power cuts Nathan has been experiencing. Caleb asks why Nathan doesn't bring in technicians to fix the generator. However, Nathan responds that it's challenging to find people willing to work on it due to the extensive security measures. He also mentions that after the last job, all the men involved were killed. Caleb looks at Nathan with concern, expecting a punchline, but Nathan weakly smiles. He then inquires about how the session went, and Caleb provides his account. However, Nathan wants to know what transpired during the power outage. Upon being asked about it, Caleb nervously continues to eat his dinner and informs Nathan that Ava didn't say anything. Nathan expresses surprise but doesn't press the matter further. In the next session, Ava discusses how she has never been outside the room she is kept in. Caleb asks her where she would like to go, and she expresses a desire to visit a traffic intersection to observe many humans. Caleb informs her that this is known as people watching, and she likes the idea, suggesting they could go together. Caleb smiles and suggests it will be a date, which makes Ava happy. She then instructs Caleb to close his eyes. Ava walks to her closet, puts on a dress, sweater, a wig, and returns to show Caleb her new look. He compliments her appearance, and she's pleased, mentioning that this is what she would wear on their date. However, Caleb is still puzzled by Ava's actions in the previous session. He asks Nathan why he gave an AI sexuality, and why they need a gender. Nathan explains that it's natural for gender and sexuality to exist. Caleb remains unconvinced and continues to argue with Nathan on the subject. Then, Caleb accuses Nathan of programming Ava to be attracted to him, which irritates Nathan, and he instructs Caleb to follow him to another room. In the new room, Nathan talks about the methods of the famous painter Jackson Pollock and how sticking to one's methods is essential for success. Caleb agrees, and Nathan compares Pollock's methods to the Turing test, emphasizing that overthinking each step and process could hinder success. Then, Nathan calms down and denies programming Ava to be attracted to him, stating that she genuinely likes Caleb. In the fourth session, Caleb recalls an experiment from his AI course at college called Mary in the Black and White Room. He describes a scientist who specialized in colors but had never seen color because she lived in a black and white room. She was born there and always lived alone. So, when the scientist stepped outside for the first time, she finally learned what colors felt like. Ava connects with the story, imagining herself alone in a black and white world. Caleb then reveals that Mary in the black and white room is a machine, and the human is the one who steps outside. Upon hearing this, Ava stares at Caleb, unmoved and serious. He tells her that he was brought to the estate to test her and asks if she knew. She replies that she didn't but is saddened by the information. Suddenly, the power is cut, and Caleb seizes the opportunity to ask Ava why she told him not to trust Nathan. She responds that Nathan lies about everything. Caleb is still puzzled by the frequent power cuts and suspects that Nathan is orchestrating them. However, Ava clarifies that she is causing the power cuts because she can reverse the power flow when charging herself. Now, Caleb begins to realize that he didn't come to the estate by chance but was intentionally chosen. Caleb confronts Nathan about his true purpose on a hike near a waterfall, and Nathan reveals that he chose Caleb because he knew he would ask the right questions. When they get back, Caleb sees Kyoko standing silently in a room. Caleb tries to get her attention, but she undresses, bewildering him. During this, Nathan enters and doesn't pay much attention to Caleb talking to Kyoko, and they end up performing a choreographed dance. In the next session with Ava, she asks Caleb a series of questions. When the power is cut, she inquires about her fate if she fails the test. Caleb is unsure about it, and the power is restored. Then, Ava expresses a desire to be with Caleb and outside the facility. Later, Caleb and Nathan discuss Ava, and Caleb learns that Nathan plans to create another model after Ava, essentially destroying her. Caleb is troubled by what he learns and investigates Nathan's computer. He discovers disturbing footage of Nathan's past interactions with other female AI models. He sees Kyoko in a room with the other AI models, and Caleb realizes that she is a robot too. Meanwhile, Nathan drunkenly attempts to make his way to his bedroom but can't find his key card. When Caleb sees him coming, he tricks Nathan into thinking he lost his key card. And when Nathan drops to the floor, Caleb takes his key card. That night, unable to sleep, Caleb becomes increasingly unsettled and cuts himself, trying to ensure he is still a human. Then, he smears his blood on a mirror in anger and punches the mirror. Due to this, the mirror breaks and it is revealed that the mirror is also a camera, and Kyoko sees his actions. During the next session, Caleb hints to Ava to turn off the power, and they discuss a plan to escape when Nathan is blackout drunk. Ava agrees to trigger a power failure at 10 p.m., and that is when they can escape the facility. The next morning, Nathan and Caleb talk about Caleb's departure. To celebrate Ava's success, Caleb offers him a drink but Nathan refuses it. To Caleb's surprise, Nathan inquires about Ava and reveals that Ava has indeed passed the test and questions her supposed affection for Caleb. This confuses Caleb, so Nathan shows him security footage from Ava's room during the power cuts, revealing that he had been observing their interactions. Nathan explains that he had placed a battery-powered camera in the room during their sessions so he could hear and see everything despite the power cuts. Then, he tells Caleb that he is the true subject of the test. At this point, Caleb realizes that Nathan chose him based on his personal information and moral qualities and not because of his programming skills. However, he informs Nathan that he already knew he would find out about their escape plan. Therefore, he had reprogrammed the facility a day before. This surprised Nathan and he goes to check on Ava. As Nathan discovers the reprogramming, he sees that Ava and Kyoko are meeting in the hallway where they have a silent exchange. Nathan gets angry and confronts Caleb, but Kyoko stabs Nathan and a struggle ensues. Ava sends Caleb inside Nathan's room and asks him to stay there while she leaves to deal with Nathan. Ava encounters Nathan in the hallway and overpowers him. She stabs him with the same knife that Kyoko used earlier and kills him. Then, she Nathan's key card and dresses herself in synthetic skin, leaving the facility. Meanwhile, Caleb, who is still locked inside the room, calls out to Ava, but she leaves him behind, making her way to the city. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us recap for you.